Gentrification is minorities' own punishment, and I know people gonna get mad. I'm going to go ahead and hide chat messages because I don't want to get distracted when I'm talking. The reason why I say gentrification is minorities' own karma, own punishment, because since 1964, when the Civil Rights Bill was signed, it not only was for African Americans but also those who are ethnic minorities like Hispanics, Asians, and any other minority group of color. And now you want to say, why I say that? Why am I being so hard? Since 1964, we had people who were joining gangs. Not everybody African American or Latinos, but they had the drug situation going on, especially in Southern California. That's particularly happening as well. It's happening all over, especially there. Then you had the prison gangs, the fighting in black versus brown, and and then you had when they had the CIA bringing drugs to the minority communities, particularly both African American and secondary Hispanic communities, with Bush and CIA and Reagan situation. Instead of uniting and together, you had people want to be the better minority for the white racist person, which both the white racist person do not care about the African American descendant person, because none of us up here are black. I identify as multiracial, because both groups mostly are multiracial, African American descendant people and Latinos. And so this black and brown racism, are either Asian versus Latino, or Asian versus black racism, is the real reason why the white people cause what race people cause division within, and minorities with their own insecurities and self-hatred use that same energy to knock each other down. And guess what? Now, since President Trump and everybody else who are racist are showing their true colors, and they're making sure that any person of color who live in the urban neighborhood does not get any housing, especially if they owe taxes, especially if they live in public housing, especially live in Section 8 or any other situation. Those people who did not pay their taxes, or they probably the private taxes so high to pay, they're now trying to get Latinos and African American people out of their neighborhood. See, since '64, that means that there was 53 years ago. There was people fighting, talking about it's my hood, my body, and all this other stuff. When the gangs don't own nothing in those areas, white people do. Let's get that straight. Yes, our Native American ancestors, because African Americans are part Native American, we're not pure black, we mix with three races as well, had this land. Yes, the African American descendant people built this land. But white men, ever since Columbus sailed the ocean blue, ever since the Pilgrims came here, ever since the white people went to Southwest and stole it, still. And yes, and I know in California, Southern California, Afro-Mexicans were part of the founders of Los Angeles, along with the mestizos as well. Not the Spaniards, okay, the indigenous Mexicans as well, and mixed race people, triracial or mulatto, whatever. They're the ones who found Los Angeles, know your history, but they don't matter. White people, especially Anglo white people, owned this land. Now, instead of fighting together, minorities in these urban communities have been fighting each other, fighting over bullshit as thing as, for example, who get a low paying job. If you stay in school instead of being a thug, cholo, or hood, red, puta, whatever, maybe you would not tend to have a job. And if you were on a public house got affected by any situations, you'll still maintain your income, that you don't need to go look for a low wage position. But when you have kids out of wedlock, you have drug charges, or you have a language barrier, along with dropping out of high school, whatever the case it may be, and you had a criminal, a felon, whatever, that causes barriers. So actually, it's not the white man's fault. Yes, there are scandalization from society, but sometimes you have to, actually majority of the time, sometimes you have to be your own person and to not be a victim. We all victims, but try to find some way not to be one, not to be caught up in that, be your own person. So it is partially our fault. Instead of trying to stay in school and go outside the school don't teach everything correctly. Of course, go outside, go to the library, read. Many of y'all choose to want to be, thug out, cholo out, gangster, and, bandiero, cartel, whatever it is. Be gangster, be thug out, live that ghetto lifestyle, whatever. But that doesn't pay bills. See, you trying to front from your friends, your homeboys, your amigos, whatever, your brothers, whatever, or sisters, or hyenas, whatever. If they don't pay your bills in the future, are they gonna pay your bills when you in the run? Are they gonna when you get in trouble with the law? Or are they gonna get you out of jail? Like when the white cops shoot an African American Latino person, are you gonna are they get a GoFundMe, trust fund, pensions, and all that? Are you gonna come together in the hood, the bar, the ghetto, and get that money together and go for GoFundMe to get your homeboy or homegirl out of jail? No, you're not. So therefore, that lifestyle is irrelevant, extremely irrelevant. It's not worth it. For 53 years, this bullshit been going on within the community. Then you fight each other over some drugs. Then you want to call somebody mayate and nigga and wetback and spick and all those type of names that white people put in your damn head, white people put in your head to hate on each other. And then the funny part is both communities are related because the African slaves, they go to Mexico and other parts of Latin America and mix their population besides Spanish and Native. And African Americans are also mixed with black, white, and Native American. So technically, we're both the same people, just look different due to degrees of mixture. We're stupid at NAACP, the modern day version of it, not the one when Walter White and W. Du Bois was in it. In modern day, back in 19 and 20 years ago, and LULAC and NASA Council Raza and Urban League and other minority groups, the AIM and Asian League, whatever, did not come in and to talk about this subject before they try to bash the multi-racial carrier and claim it will lose some numbers. Because both communities have mixed race background. But you're not concerned about the people in the community shooting and killing each other. You're about a white man doing it. Because the white man has more power in this country. Well, the ones who are trying to infiltrate the power structure, whether it be a person of color, African American, descent, Hispanic, you're not worrying about them because they have more access to hurting that person than a white person because you're in a segregated neighborhood. And I call it like it's not even a cool, it's the truth. When I was in El Paso, when I was in this hood, most African American, I had to watch, if it's a brother, all the time I had to watch a white person come in here unexpectedly who's pure white because none of us don't look white. Majority of us don't look white. Yes, people who do are mixed, okay? And we are all mixed as well. But the white person with a badge ready to hurt you, that's on the time. But majority of the time, it's people within the African American or Hispanic community who not to will hurt you 10 times worse. Even your own family can turn against you compared to a Klansman doing it to you. Because next time you live in an integrated or mostly white neighborhood where white people run the area, that's when you're concerned about that majority of the time. We have enemies within our own. You're about who gets the immigration status. You get about who gets the SNAP when actually there's less to worry about. You should worry about your wealth and worry about your health and worry about your kids in case the older person in the family leaves this world. Who's going to house that house when they're not able to take care of themselves? They've been told to live on them. No one ain't worrying about that. But you're so worried about if Juanita gets a job that's lower paying wage, you should get a high wage position. Or Shaquita gonna take it and gonna have more black folks in the job. Or whatever it is, it's still irrelevant. Now you got white people who move in your neighborhood who have more money than you, who's trying to get close to work. Because at first, the areas is mostly African American, Hispanic, well, mostly white. That's why during after the civil rights movement, men flocked and white folks left. Now they want to take it back and kick you out. And now you're crying. Minorities are at fault. This 53 years, instead of being gangster, ghetto, ratchet, thug, cholo, barrio, whatever, chola, whatever it is, bandiera, whatever it is, selling droga, selling coke, selling kush, whatever it was, the excuse to make money. There were minority programs within the colleges. Yes, go to the library instead of wasting time with Pookie and Ray Ray or Juanita or whatever down the street who ain't worrying about your ass. You should have went to the library, biblioteca, and worry about that and try to get some scholarships. Because it's about your future. Them people in the hood, just like the white race people, don't care about your damn future. They want to see you rot, crash a barrel, yes. They want to see you rot with them. When you're doing better, they want to knock you down. The truth of the matter is, you can't cry about Trump now. Because now y'all for 53 years instead of trying to come together and put past. I'm not saying everybody, you don't have enemies no matter what they are. You can't always go individually, go with enemies. But this idea that this and that, I hate this and I'm trying to make her the rasa, you marrying a white person is not going to help your ass get further in life. You marrying, the light in your race, whatever, or darken it, going reverse, it's not going to help. And you're going to still be at the economic bottom. What minority person has won? A few. But a majority is still at the bottom line. How many white people, white women, white men, they married? Well, be African American community or the Hispanic community. That yellow-bone child or that weather-looking child has still ain't got the same amount of money as that pure white child does, who's adult now, who running the company, especially if it's a man, and second as a woman, because it's in the we call it the affirmative action, women's included, and white women benefit more than minorities. Y'all know that's why there's more women business owned by white women than minorities. And you trying to make sure you don't get hide on Negroes or hide on Mexicans, whatever, or any other Hispanic group, Puerto Rico, whatever. Point is, you're not doing nothing in the community but riding in your own right. So now, since gentrification's happened, they're moving to the areas of Houston, in Los Angeles, and Chicago, and all over, and y'all screaming. But minorities should have been worried about this instead of worried about who on the block selling the rock and making more money, and what mayate or what wetback or speak a nigga with all this other stuff. When I use those type of words, but that's I'm using your mentality. In other words, you can understand instead of worry about who, I don't want my daughter, man, a nigga and all other stuff, and I'm messing whatever, Puerto Rico, whatever it is that you didn't like. We worry about that was the last way. You're not worried about your kids, no matter what color they gonna be, because we all mixed up, and still you can marry somebody within your own ethnic group because you're mixed, and still come out a child looking different from you. Genes are very different. God used those genes for some reason in His own way, not ours. But the truth of the matter is, instead of you worrying about those things in your future, so they can have plate of food in a proper and legit manner, you're worried about being a criminal, a thug, a cholo, and being private prison complex, which is AKA slavery. 13 Amendment did not get rid of slavery unless you of a punishable criminal act. Read 13 Amendment. You're being saying y'all fighting each other in the prison system and putting hits and green lights instead of worrying about that shit. But when you come home from jail, you ain't gonna have no place to live in then, because the white people gonna take away your family's house. Because your family, whether it be African American or a Latino, Hispanic, whatever, Mexican, Puerto Rico, whatever, Dominican, Cuban, whatever, is not gonna have a place to lay their ass in. Okay, they're gonna lay their ass down. We're gonna have a place to pop the place in when the white folks raise some tax money and get rid of everybody who've been wasting their time being criminals. Instead of minorities, this is your karma, and you need to learn from your karma. When you do this, and no, it ain't perfect. I'm not perfect, but I'm not worried about it. And to those who are low, but Mexican take a little job. Let me say something. I'm mixed with Hispanic too, Spanish Creole. Louisiana has Spain there too. It's in my roots as well. Real, that's Hispanic. So I have some part Latino too. Down with my mama's family tree. Back African American, French, Spanish, Creole, English. I do research since I was 13 years old. I'm 38, and hopefully go back to answer the comment and do some more research. Y'all know who you are. We know where you're going. Truth of the matter is, I'm not worried about any immigrant with a low-wage position. Well, I didn't graduate high school. I did graduate high school, but I didn't graduate high school for low-wage positions. I graduated high school and tried to go to college, and I did go 1 year, and then I got two years in online university to get, and I'm trying to hopefully call a school to go back for my bachelor's in entrepreneurship. 2 more years since I fucked up last year, okay? So I can get my diploma, and get my certificate, get my degree in entrepreneurship, so I can have a wealth of my kids. Well, that's why I'm not married and have no kids, because I don't want my kids living in ghetto, body, or whatever. I want to have money. The one thing I don't like Trump, but Trump did a wise thing by making sure his kids were fed. So when they have kids, they can have the same money. Their new money becomes old money. Instead of doing it, I don't like Trump, but let's learn how he got his wealth. Let's learn how to be millionaires and billionaires, not trying to be working in low-wage positions. Martin King or Sage Chavez not fight for us to work in shoe shining, serving white people, anybody, okay, being maids and butlers and all that. If you learn a skill, if you learn how to get in life, you wouldn't have to worry about a Latino or anybody, or even black or anybody taking your damn job. How about making your own job? You know, here in Houston, we have a minority male, whatever it's called, program for 18 to 21, I think, for men of African American and Hispanic descent. They need to broaden the gap for Asian, mixed, but most of us are in Arabian, whatever, in the Americans. That's just the two groups. But they focus on two groups because they're trying to teach brothers and Latino brothers to become entrepreneurs. And hardly nobody knows that program. And it's sad, but you got a lot of Latino and African American youngsters who out there stealing and robbing, whatever, especially during this hurricane. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? White folks doing it too, but they focusing on minorities. It's called like it is. This hurricane is past week, excuse me. So instead of worrying about trying to be thug and ghetto and ratchet and barrio hood and cholito and all other stuff, chola or whatever it is that's stupid, que estúpido, should I say, and pinche stupid way, stupid way, excuse me, it shouldn't be in your life. Worry about your future, tu futuro, and worry about getting the money the right way. And maybe you don't have to worry about a white racist person, because yeah, don't get wrong, we need to come together, stop police brutality attacking both communities, but at the same time we shouldn't be out here trying to advocate that's part of life, and we should live our life that way. When you perpetrate a stereotype, you have to blame yourself for it. So in this unification, I can't get mad about white people, because 53 years after the Civil Rights Bill been signed, this bullshit been going on, and nobody, and I remember NAACP and the LULAC have not called this ass out. But they called up 20 years ago about the moderation category. They scared of losing numbers. That's more important than the community suffering at the hand of within its own people. And it's sad. It's sad. But you now y'all whine about white people coming in the community and taking away a house. Now you no longer have no hood, and none of them gangsters in the hood, whether it be African American, Hispanic, or any other person of color, ain't not gonna fight them damn white people. But Trump got machinery and more weaponry than y'all do in them ghetto barrio guns, cheap guns. Them white people in the militaries and in powers to be can tear down that community, kick your behind out, be worse than what happened to Chris Columbus, what Columbus did in the Caribbean with the Native American people, or what happened in Black Wall Street. I'm gonna let y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to get your head together. If you don't want gentrification on, stop this green light on black person, Hispanic person, and fighting each other. This is the karma. This is the punishment of which I have done for 53 years. And it's sad. It is. Fighting each other about who got this and that. And you saying white people poison, white racist people poison in your own communities. That's poisoning, killing, and causing more genocide in there. That's the silly part. And I call it like it is. So minorities deserve its own punishment. And yes, the gentrification passed. Cool, that happened. But I bet you now that when they ever call each other the B word, N word, whatever, or fight each other over a hood or body that ain't belong theirs. Because yes, you in Mexico. Yeah, they were black owned neighborhood, whatever. But white people run that bullshit. Let me say this again. The white people run that. That's why they raise some taxes up so you cannot pay it. Is to get y'all, but they got the money. See, why y'all was worrying about and who this and that make the money and shoot them up and being thugged out, ratchet and fighting and stuff at the school and all other stuff, not self-defense from just fighting acting a fool. They was making meetings and plans and business, decisions to try to get your ass out of your own communities. That's all. Gentrification happened. I had no reason to get upset. Because you get what you deserve. Don't marry that black person, being like, what that black person gonna do, or the Mexican person gonna do if you marry their family? How about marrying a person that's good for you, who treats you good of any kind? Everybody have a preference of a damn. I mean, whatever, and then the person turn 18, that's not your choice to tell your child, because they're grown, who to marry. That's against the law as on, so they can get the law enforcement to get your ass in trouble, trying to make them and beat them, whatever. They need this on or well, because everybody, God bless the child, God's own. and worry about mom and daddy taking care of one thing. That's when between 1 year or a zero, which is a newborn, to all the way to 17 years old. At 18, they should have their own stuff or getting ready to have it. I call it like it is.